What is up, my friends? The weekend has now officially started. It is Friday night's late night agenda on the eve of the Reds game against Chelsea. It is a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. I went to set my alarm a little bit earlier on today just so I wouldn't forget. Put in 11 a.m, press set, and the phone says to me, "Are you sure? Are you really sure? Is this Craig?" And I said, "Yes, it is me, phone." Press set again, and it goes, "Oh, you're off on holidays or something, is it? Oh, the other time your lazy ass gets up at that hour of the morning." I said, "No, BT have done it to us again, phone." So phone set, we're ready to go. I hope to see you there. We'll be on our Twitch channel, link is in the description. Right, let's start off today with some good news first, shall we? And that is that Liverpool should have Darwin Núñez available for the game tomorrow. He trained on Thursday, meaning he is under consideration for selection, and I hope to God he starts because we need him, particularly against the Chelsea team, who like ourselves have been a little bit up and down, misfiring at times, and I'm hoping tomorrow that we can put some consistency together and pick up a much needed 3 points. Now, speaking of Chelsea, I'm sure it hasn't escaped your attention today that there have been links, I believe coming from The Guardian, that say Chelsea are attempting to agree a new contract with Mason Mount to fend off the growing prospect of Liverpool trying to buy the midfielder in the summer. Now, he has 18 months currently on his Chelsea contract. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this absolutely reeks of a player and his representatives just looking for that bigger payday and deal to keep him at Chelsea Football Club. They won't have not noticed the amount of money Todd Bowley is throwing around at the minute, and I'm sure he's going to want some of that. But if you're asking me for my honest opinion, he's a good football player, but I wouldn't want him anywhere near Liverpool Football Club. I just don't see him as the type of player that would fit into our system. Do we really need an attacking midfielder? Probably not. And I know what you're going to say, Craig, we need more goals from midfield. Yes, we do. But I don't think in Klopp's system, Mason Mount really plays into it well. I don't think there's a place for him in there. And, call me old-fashioned, but I'd rather see Carvalho given a chance to progress and be that guy if Klopp wants one of those type of attacking number 10 type midfielders. And look, as I said, Mason Mount, nothing against him personally. I'm sure he's a nice lad, but I don't want him anywhere near Liverpool Football Club. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. Could be because he was at Chelsea Football Club since he was, I think, 8 years of age, and yeah, we don't want any of that southern softness, do we, in the Liverpool team? So no, for me, on Mason Mount, I would pass, and I would rather reinvest that money for Jude Bellingham and Enzo or somebody along those lines. So for me, on the links to Mason Mount, I don't know if it's true, actually, in all honesty. I've no reason to doubt The Guardian or their journalists on this one, but I don't see a situation where Mason Mount doesn't sign the new deal at Chelsea because he's unhappy at the wages he's been offered and Liverpool coming in and giving him more money. It just doesn't really make sense to me. We all know how long it took Liverpool to agree that new deal with Mohamed Salah, who had achieved legendary status at the club already before that and deserved the deal. So I don't see Mason Mount coming in and being on, say, 300 grand a week at Liverpool. It just doesn't add up to me, particularly with the money we're going to need in the summer to redo that midfield anyway. Next bit of news for you guys is an update around Bobby Firmino. So it seems like there is a contract offer that is going to be on the table for Bobby Firmino, and we're still in talks with him according to Fabrizio Romano. We know he has the option of maybe going to Saudi and playing over there, but it seems like Bobby's ideal situation would be to remain at the club. I think he's looking for a 2-year deal. And again, this is one that kind of splits fans, because I know we're in this moment now where a lot of us feel this is kind of the tipping point to maybe get rid of some of the old guard and really start to build Klopp's second team. But I have to admit, I'm a little bit emotionally invested in this one because Bobby's my favourite player at the club, and it will be a sad day for me, a very sad day when Bobby leaves. So I still think he has something that he can contribute, albeit in a diminishing way over the next couple of years. But I also do understand the viewpoints of other Reds that think maybe it's best to just make a clean break. I guess we will find out sooner or later because the clock is ticking. He is a free agent. Technically now, if Bobby wanted to, he could sign a pre-contract agreement, with the club outside of the Premier League. So let's wait and see how that one works out. I do see that Mr. Paul Merson, again, the gift that keeps on giving, has been running his mouth a little bit, saying Cody Gakpo has been struggling a bit so far at Liverpool. I can't remember players for Houlden coming in and ripping it up in the Premier League in the last couple of years. Right, Mr. Merson, how do we say this politely? Shut up. Just stop talking. Nobody cares. Nobody's interested. Nobody wants to know your opinions anymore. You are yesterday's news, sir. Leave Cody Gakpo alone. Cody Gakpo will be absolutely just fine. And I don't know why he's also kind of going in on Dutch football there. I mean, Dutch football is pretty hot at the minute. There's some pretty good players coming through. And Cody Gakpo will be absolutely fine. So, Mr. Merson, please just keep your stupid opinions to yourself. Thank you very much. Jurgen Klopp has been speaking as well today about Chelsea's spending. And said it would be interesting really to see if they could keep up that over the next 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. For those of you who aren't aware, Chelsea under Todd Bowley have been signing players, but have been signing them on very long-term deals, so 6, 7, even 8-year contracts. The idea of that being, I guess, amortization and spreading the cost of those fees and wages over the 6, 7, 8 years of the contract, making it then on paper look like they're spending a bit less each season, giving them a bit more wiggle room. There is, I guess, downside to that. If the player doesn't work, then you're stuck with a player probably on high wages for a very long contract and be quite difficult to get rid of them. So look, each to their own. Chelsea have always been a club that have spent money anyway. You know, under Abramovich, it's been reported that during his entire tenure there, they averaged something like, I'm fairly sure it was The Athletic that said they averaged losses of £900,000 a week under the Roman Abramovich era at Chelsea. So, you know, other clubs don't have that luxury to be losing that much money every single week and be bailed out by a sugar daddy. So let's wait and see if Todd Bowley's sugar daddy number 2. The next bit of news that I have for you guys is around Liverpool's interest in Ruben Neves, like we spoke about yesterday. It's been going on again today, and now it's being reported that Liverpool are unable to afford a move for Ruben Neves, which isn't going to help FSG one bit with many Liverpool fans who already feel like they're being far too frugal. So let's wait and see what happens there. I wouldn't have minded Ruben Neves. He would have been a decent stopgap, I suppose. But I think at this point, it just feels like FSG aren't really bothered about trying to win hearts and minds. So, you know, for me, the sooner the better. John W. Henry and co. pack up and ship off. You know, it'll be better for the club. That's my opinion. Don't hate me for it. Right, last thing before I finish up today. Did anybody get a little look at the Etihad just before halftime yesterday when the ref blew up? Did you hear them? The petulant, spoiled little kids that they are. Those who were in the stadium, because as we know, there was loads of empty seats. But we're not allowed to say that because somebody will tell us it was all sold out, even though we can see the seats. The boos ringing around the Etihad because they were 2-0 down to Spurs in a game which they went on to comfortably win 4-2. But it is exactly everything that is wrong with modern football. Booing your team who have won 5, 6 league titles under Guardiola, FA Cups, League Cups, everything but the Champions League, which, by the way, Pep did give me a good laugh at when he said, people say it's not success if you don't win the Champions League. Bullshit. Well, Pep, it isn't. You were brought in to do exactly that, sir. You were brought in to win the Champions League. You failed at Bayern Munich, a one-team league. You also have failed so far in the Premier League with a blank checkbook. So, Pep, no matter what you say, no matter what angle you try to spin, it is a failure. It is an abject failure if he doesn't deliver a European Cup to Manchester City. I'm not going to sit here and say Pep Guardiola is not a fine manager. Of course he is. But would I swap him for Jurgen Klopp? Not a chance in hell. And I'm loving every moment of him getting salty with his own fan base at the minute. Because we all know what he's starting to realise. It's a hollow, soulless club. I could get that right eventually. It's a hollow, soulless club full of Johnny-come-latelys and we want success, we want it now. And as soon as things start to turn a little bit, they'll be back into their Chelsea shirts or whoever it was they actually supported beforehand. So, yeah. Good news on that one. Carry on, Pep. That'll be the end of it for me today, my friends. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So please do drop by if you want to join us for the watch along. If not, then you will get our post-match content as always on here. Match reaction for myself, a player ratings video, and then myself and Mr. Paddy Murphy will be giving you a second match reaction. So enjoy your weekends. I look forward to reading the comments and seeing whose piss I have boiled with some of this. So over to you. I await you. Let's see what you got.